Okay, so you've already seen the title, so you know that there's a magical doorway. Now let's start the story. The story starts with Iris Winnow. She's 18 years old. So she was seeing her brother Forrest off at the train station because he was going off to war. He enlisted to the war that night to go and fight. He's 5 years older than her. He's so 18 plus 5 was the maths. That's 23. This war is between two gods, actually, Enver and Dakri. That's the goddess Enver and the god Dakri. This war is between them. So what happened is that Enver is now recruiting young men and women to enlist in the military. And she does this thing by she'll play a song, it will touch the heart, because what she's known for is playing a harp. She plays music to lead souls of the dead, back to the sky and to rest and things like that. So that's what she does. That's what she's the goddess of. Okay, and apparently her music can also suit hearts and things like that. So she's more of a musical goddess. Okay, and Dakri is supposed to be god of vitality and health. But when you see his actions in this book, it's like initially, before they even said it in the book, I thought that this guy Dakri was like the god of death and war. He's just seeming so much like Ares. He's seeming so much like Ares in this setting, but let's just continue. So as Iris's brother Forrest is leaving, he now asked her, make me 2 promises. Make sure you stay in school, graduate, and also take care of mom. She ended up breaking both, but we're going to see why. Now let's describe a bit of Iris and Forrest's features, because when they are facing each other, they look like they're looking at a mirror. Obviously he's taller, she's smaller, you get, but then they both have hazel eyes. Hazel means reddish greenish brown eyes. Then chestnut hair. Chestnut is brown, and then they have freckles. So you like Iris is a cute girl. You see how Bookstagram portrays her too. She's a cute girl. Okay, now let's continue. So as this is the prologue of the book, now the book resumes in chapter 1, and in chapter 1 it's 5 months later, and Iris is working at the Gazette. She actually never graduated. She dropped out of school. She dropped out 2 months after her brother left. So she's been working at this Gazette, this newspaper place, for like 3 months now. So what happened that she even got a job there is that she won an essay competition. She didn't even expect to win because it was hundreds of applications, but somehow her own came out on top. The owner of the Gazette, Zeb Altry, that's his name, Zeb Altry, he wanted to give the position of columnist to this guy, Roman Seekett. But then he just thought this girl too is good, like Iris. Let me now make it a competition, like between both of them. Whoever writes better articles, delivers on time, I'll now make them the columnists. So the first day that what's her name, Iris came into the Gazette itself, Roman just looked up and down as far. She's not even a competition because she didn't even graduate from secondary school, and her secondary school is even the poorer one because he's a rich kid. He went to a different secondary school, Devon Hall. Why she dropped out of a poorer one, Windy Grove, because of this thing that this prejudice he had about her from day one. She didn't like him. You understand? And then his name is Roman Seekett. I already said this before. So because she doesn't know what the C stands for, so she now likes teasing him about it because she knows he hates it. She now be like, so what does the C stand for? Does it mean cheeky, churlish, cantankerous, childish? That kind of thing. Just anything that I see that is bad, she just call it to him just to get a reaction out of him. Initially, what both of them used to do every morning and every week is that they will race to be the first to get to work on time so that they can snag the weekly assignment. Because whoever writes more weekly assignments and is good will get the columnist position. So they've been doing this thing for like 3 months now. Iris has noticed this guy's writing because the first time they started this thing, she got the first one. But the second week, she deliberately let him get the weekly assignment because she wanted to see how his writing looks like. And then she now read it and it was so good. She's like, this guy good oh, how let me step up my game things like that. So there was a time that she missed the weekly assignment. So, and anytime she missed the weekly assignment, she did not get it to write. She will now have to write obituaries and one other thing like that they call something. And obviously, writing obituaries is not an easy task because maybe some people can do it, and they can be cold and distant, but it's not Iris. She will not start reasoning, who was this person when they were alive? What killed them? and she'll now start feeling heavy. So in a particular week like that, Iris was late to work twice. And her boss was like, I cannot have this thing. See, unless you you missed the essay this week. And at this point, I've published 11 of Roman's own and 10 of your own. You have to give me an essay. Okay? And she now said, okay, that should give him an essay. And the reason why Iris was late to work is that her mom, Ashta, has been drinking. And this drinking heavily thing started after her brother Forrest left for war. So she was late because her mom was lying in a pool of vomit, and she had thought that something happened to my mother, so she had taken her time, so she did not rush off on time. Do you get? This war began 7 months ago, this war that they are facing. So her brother had enlisted to the war 2 months after it started. Okay? And at this point, at the timeline of this novel right now, the war has been going on for 7 months. And it started after Dakre. Dakre was in an enchanted sleep. But 234 years after, as he was in the sleep, he now woke up. And he now started to cause havoc on humankind, lands, just to gain Enver's attention. Like, this is all Iris knew. She was like, why do they have feud like this? What is it between Dakre and Enver that he's always trying to get her attention and war? So she does not know why. And we don't know why yet at this point, okay? So one time, Iris attempted to befriend Roman. Like, remember, this one not on good terms, though. But one time she tried to befriend him by asking him, let's grab a sandwich. Like, as she was leaving work, he just turned it down. You don't even look upset from his typing, just like, I'm walking. She was like, she's like, who sent me? Who sent me walk? So after getting groceries, as she left on her own now, she now came out of the shop and she nearly slept on the newspaper. And the newspaper was Ink Reading Tribune. That's a Gazette's rival. There are two major competitors in Oat City, because the name of the city now that this story is taking place in is known as Oat. Just imagine it as 1920s setting. Like, some modern tech is already coming in. I mean, there is a telephone, there is train, there is typewriter. Computer is not out yet. There is some kind of car, not quite. But at least some version of car, like the tram and things like that. Just imagine it's like 1920s, 1930s, but it's not like this our era yet, you get. So that's the setting of this. But it's not like, because this is a fantastical world, but it has that feelings of 1920s, 1930s setting. So after she got groceries, and she now saw that Ink Reading Tribune in that city, like I said, there are two major newspapers, the Gazette, where Iris and Roman are working, and then the Ink Reading Tribune. So Iris now noticed that the Ink Reading Tribune, that the headline is reporting news about the war, something that Autry, her own boss, is staying completely out of, unless it's involving missing soldiers, because the assignment of that week was write an essay about the missing soldiers. And this whole idea of writing about missing soldiers is not because he wanted to give more information. It's to make it that Enver is recruiting people that she's not meant to be recruiting. Like, he's just trying to make the goddess look bad. This is a Botry guy. So that means he's a Dakre worshipper or sympathizer. Like, you understand? He's not for Enver. Okay? So we're still going to find out the dynamics of these two gods. Just stay with me, please. And then in that headline of the magazine that Iris read now, that Ink Reading Tribune that reporting about the war, she now read that Eitrals are spelled EITHRALS. They were reported to be seen. Eitrals are like wyverns. Wyverns look like dragons. The whole tail, they're large, this is that. But the difference is now, where dragons have like 4 feet, like 4 legs, wyverns only have 2. These wyverns, they came up in the story Fourth Wing, which we are going to do before the year ends. So just stick around. So these creatures, these Eitrals, they are meant to be mystical. And, when the gods were asleep now, they were asleep too, which is over 200 years ago and things like that. But as the gods are waking up for whatever reason, the creatures that are meant to be mythical are also coming back with them. You get that sort of thing. So this city Oat that our story is based on is an ancient god's grave site. Like they've literally built a city upon the grave of a god like that. So what it means is that some magic in the bones of the gods would seep into certain corners of the street. You can just turn by a street corner and you are seeing some magicy things happening. There are things like enchanted shops and houses. So it's a magical world. You encounter magic in unexpected places. Okay? So now, as Iris got home, she's found out that her mother, Ashta, sold her Nan's radio, Nan is grandma, to buy more alcohol. So in the privacy of her room, Iris retrieved her typewriter, or rather her grandma's typewriter that her grandma had given her before she died. She used to hide it so that her mother would not see it and sell to and use and buy alcohol. Iris was meant to write an essay that her boss asked her to write now at the office. But she just felt like writing to her brother. She has been writing to him. Initially, after he left, she was waiting to hear from him. 2 months, she did not hear anything. And that's when her mother's drinking got heavy. Her mother got fired from the diner she was working at. So there was no money for food or electricity. So Iris had to drop out of school to get a job. Do you understand? That's why Iris dropped out of school. And the thing is, 2 months after she did not hear from her brother, she now started writing letters. But she had no way to send it to him. So what she used to do is that she now started doing there's this thing that her grandma used to do when her Nan was alive. They would write notes to each other. They'll now fold it and keep at secret places in the house, maybe inside the pillow, in the wardrobe, in the shoe rack, something like that, for each other to find. Just encouraging notes that you should just make her day. She was like, why can't I do that and pretend that my brother will get this message? So the first message she wrote, she slipped it under her wardrobe, only for her to come back the next day. She did not see the note. She was like, she would come back every day. Maybe she would write a letter again, slip it under her wardrobe. She's not going to see. She's now like, where's my notes going to? But part of her was like, maybe it's going to my brother. So let me just keep writing to him. So she'll not be pouring out her heart and letter, talking to her brother, asking how he's doing, what's going on, things like that. Do you get? She was just hoping that it was going to her brother. Then this particular day, a reply now finally came back. And the reply now said, this isn't Forrest. She was not thinking, if it's not Forrest, then who is it? Why is this person not even telling me who he is? You know, that kind of thing. So the thought was bothering her so much that the next day she was nearly hit by a tram. A tram has like a track, more like trains have track. Trams have track, carried by cable, powered by electricity, things like that. Just imagine it as a small train, but it's like a bus that at least moves around the city. So let's just take it that way. So it was Roman that dragged her because she was standing in the track rail. Roman literally had to drag her out. And then she was like, that she saw the tram, she would have been fine. That kind of thing. She cannot come and start telling her rival that her mind was not there. And that day, she was wearing boots that were her mom's boots. And her mom's feet is smaller than her feet. So it was paining her. Do you understand? So she had to walk with style. But now they're about to enter work together. They both realize, they'll be in the elevator lift together. Somebody now mistakenly joined them. I said mistakenly because both of them started arguing in the lift. And the person had no choice. He was standing in between them. I was like, that kind of awkward moment. So that's what happened. And the argument was about that Roman was like, why is Autry giving you special favors to write essay? Do you understand? Why is he doing that? That we're meant to compete for this position of colyumnist, fair and square. And Iris was just like, she just gave him one snacky reply like that and left the elevator before he can even question her further. So later she went to the library to research about the warring gods because she really wanted to know their history. You get, Enva, the female goddess, she's skyward. She's a skyward's god. And then Dakra is an underlings, inside ground, beneath the earth gods. These gods used to be 100 once so. But then they were now killing off each other. Boredom of immortality. They now reduced to 5. And these 5 were supposedly overcome by humans who gave them poisonous drink or something that is meant to put them in permanent enchanted sleep. But we don't know why they're waking up. Okay? So the name of the remaining 5 gods are Dakre, Enva, Mia, Mir, Alva, Luz. And these form days of the week. The first, Dakre's day, Enva's day, Mia's day, Alva's day, Luz, that sort of thing. Then Saturday and Sundays is called 6th and 7th day. in this world. Please keep up with me. This is fantastic. I don't want to come and start explaining all the world and then we'll now get bored. So please, let's just be going with it as we are hearing, okay? As Iris went to the library to research about this warring god, she didn't find any information. Okay, that night, because Iris had not replied that guy that wrote This Isn't Forest, or rather that person, because she doesn't know if it's a guy or a girl that has been receiving her letters, thinking why she was thinking she was sending to her brother. As the person I wrote back This Isn't Forest, she was just thinking about it all day. She now finally decided, okay, let me write back to this person.